Hello and welcome to another episode of Allstar Garage. This time round it's all about the Reunion 3, the big Mildenhall weekender meeting that we do every year with the Pre-70 bangers on a Saturday and the Pre-90 bangers on a Sunday. We normally go up there on a Friday, stay Friday night, get marginally intoxicated, race on the Saturday night, food and some more beverages of different sorts, and then we race again on a Sunday and then come back to work on Monday for a rest. Now we've tried to film as much as we can over the weekend with the onboard stuff from the cars, front and back cameras on both days, as well as filming us repairing the cars in the pits, because I know a lot of people like to see that, and just some general shenanigans around the camp, including some really drunk interviews on Saturday night at about 1, 2 in the morning. That was different. Now if you've stumbled across this video and you've got absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, you can go back on the channel, watch the last 5 or 6 videos that we've brought out with getting the 2 cars ready for the weekender, and then come back and watch this from where you are now, and it'll make a lot more sense, and then we can carry on. Now if you are a regular viewer, or you've been keeping up with what's going on, or you're from the banger world and you already know about the meeting and everything else, we'll carry on from where we are now, and I'll roll the titles, and this is the footage that we managed to capture from the Reunion 3 at Mildenhall Stadium. I can't get the socket on it because of the flag. Okay, so you're joining us on the Friday afternoon up at Mildenhall. I think we got there about 11 o'clock in the morning to get a good spot in the pits and sort of get everything unloaded and set up, which we've done by this point. This is Kieran Tweed's A60 hanging off the lorry, but he decided he wanted to change his diff. I think he had an open diff in it and wanted to put a locker in it, so we had nothing better to do. All hands on deck, just having a chat and a laugh and enjoying a bit of sunshine and changing a diff and getting covered in 50-year-old diff oil as you do. Yeah. No! That wasn't planned either, to be fair.
What have we done, the diff? You're watching the professionals at work.
Maybe it's Luke's car. If there was ever a photograph you don't need to smell, this is it.
Gentlemen, boys and girls, this is one you'll never forget. Hello? Hello? And here we are then. It is 2-4-3. Pete Osborne comes down the back straight to take the checkered flag.
Keep going back, mate. Keep going
back. Yep. Oh. Sit. Right down. Right down.
24 volt V6.
555.
I need to do it in a minute.
You can do it now. Do it now.
It needs some more gas.
Wet your throat, wet your throat.
Here we are then, coming down the back straight for the last time. It is 5-5-5. Roll in.
Now we've already had jacket potatoes cooked by Notty by this point, but it's now 11 at night and we decided we want burgers, bacon burgers. I think there's some eggs in there as well. So Kev's having a bit of a grill up, a late night grill up at the camp.
Will be on their way first. We'll start around about 3 o'clock. Once everybody's come out that wants to do the Grand Parade. The excellent organisation from Tom and the team behind the scenes in advance, so everybody knows exactly what race they are. 236. You've done a lap. He's gone around.
Charlie Rowner, why are you crying, mate?
The sun's glaring.
You've got sunglasses right above your eyes.
I know, I can't see though. It's a lovely day, but...
Look at the sacrifice you're putting in to fix Kev's car. You've ruined his eyes, man.
It's a lovely day, but the sun is... yeah, it's killing me.
What are you crying for?
He wants me to bust myself.
Why?
Why don't you use the levers on the other side, you dong?
They work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, dog.
I can put it under that front light and tuck it up.
Just pull it up and out of the way.
Yeah.
Tear.
Yeah.
Snap it off on the lorry.
Hit it up, Kev, that's it.
Yeah.
That's crap.
Again.
Get the hook on here, Gary. Oh no, just hit it up or hit it up.
Yeah.
Look at the mud flap. Chaz, your flap was proper flapping then.
Better than my eyes. Yeah, I reckon round here next. Put that over.
Believe it. After all the trouble we've had in the workshop with this car over the past couple of weeks, with it running rough, changing inlet manifolds, changing carburetors and everything, it's been running fine all day. I've driven out on the track. As soon as I've dropped for second gear, it's broken down again. We're running on about 4, maybe 5 cylinders at the best of times. But the problem is where I've got no power and the track is so wet, I can't drive the car into the corner properly, I can't throw it in. So I'm really struggling to get around the bends because it's got no power, and I'm having to try and clutch kick it and get everything I can to get going. But as you can see, I am well off pace. On top of that, I've not pressed the button for the rear facing camera properly, so we've got no rear footage either. That's it. I'm calling it. I've had enough of screaming around there trying to get the thing running, so I'm pulling off. Game over for this race.
It was alright until I went out there and lined up. As soon as I went first gear, revved it, and it just broke down onto about 3 cylinders. Pull the cap off, make sure I ain't got a hairline crack in the cap.
Now what you are seeing here is a montage of about 2.25 hours of about 10, 12 different people, old boys, triumph specialists, whatever, all in the mix. We changed everything on this car. We went from electronic dizzy to points dizzy, coils, leads, everything. We changed absolutely everything. I didn't put plugs in it because I knew I'd put plugs in it yesterday. But it turns out the 3 different sets of NGK spark plugs I've put in it have all broken down. We put a set of supersonic electronic ignition plugs in it, and she barked straight off and was ready for consolation number 3. After all that hard work getting it going, I've gone out for the consolation race. I haven't even managed to lap. I've been caught through the back wheel and snapped a drive shaft clean in half. This is not my day.
Just feed it out. Got one. It's not moving.
Just got the studs out now.
Just winding a little bit of cute elevator music in here whilst we watch the sun go down together. Okay, that's enough of that. Thank you very much.
that back wheel on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bring it back a bit, or is that chain in the way?
No, that's all right, come on. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, come on. Yeah, chain's fighting against it. Yeah. Ollie up. Yeah, push the crane down on that back wheel.
Dylan needs to go.
Where is Dylan?
Where's this sledge and Magoonie? That's my bear fan in the car, isn't it?
Yeah. Get the car.
That's the sheriff, okay? Yeah, you've got a few more cords up. No, mate.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. I don't actually know it at this point, but they've just called the DD. There was like 3, maybe 4 cars left going, I think. And I think the meeting ran out of time. With this fella in front busting into flames in spectacular fashion, they obviously had to stop the race to sort that out. And I think we were touching the 10 o'clock curfew. So the decision was made that the race would be just called, null and void, no winners. The only problem with that is obviously we've now started a DD with a fresh car. And now it's a little bit blown to bits and a little bit sore, but it is what it is. Drove off the track, but that is Saturday's racing over and done with.
Load up.
Epic. You alright, Joey? Yeah? Yeah, me too. No, we're right actually. Bit late in the day for that. Right then, Kev, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. The meeting's well and truly done for day one. Rate your meeting.
10. A solid 10.
Even with your broken ribs?
Broken ribs, stiff neck. After the first heat, I kind of was a little bit broken and yeah, I'd had enough. But with your gentle encouragement, and I will say gentle, Kev, just go over there and sort yourself out.
Get back in your
while
car.
I pull your car, and you're getting back out. And in all fairness, that was the best thing. As much as I enjoyed the first heat, I loved the second heat. Yes, I did deck chair its dead car, but that was not. I didn't realise Will had got out of his car. If not, I wouldn't have deck chaired it. But either way, it's still a good shot. So I had a blinder of a day.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Pete, please rate your meeting of the reunion free.
Day one.
Day one.
1.
1. Elaborate, Pete. Please elaborate.
I'm not racing another one of them.
Why are you not racing another Mark 1 Triumph, Peter?
It doesn't matter about Mark 1.
Or Mark 2? Why are you never racing a Triumph again, Pete?
Triumph Toledo, Triumph 2000, Triumph PI, Triumph Stag, Triumph Dolomite, whatever.
Never again.
Bucket of.
So you... I don't know what to say to that.
Right, Big Charlie round at 1 o'clock in the morning. Please, can you rate your meeting in your Triumph?
Yeah, it was good. Good night.
1 to 10?
I'd give it a solid 9.
A 9?
That's a
enjoyed
generous 9, Chaz. That's
enjoyed
very
it.
generous.
No, I enjoyed it. It was
Would you
good.
race a Triumph again?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
yeah.
a different answer to what you had said.
Yeah, no, mine
No,
was. Yeah.
The back was like cheese, I must admit.
Not.
But the front was good.
Yeah.
Front was alright.
Good front on her.
Yeah.
Did it pat a cake quite nicely, Charlie?
Went round. It was nice.
A little bit of biffing.
It was a good day. Yeah, it was alright. 3 races. Can't moan at that.
Shame you didn't get out for the last one though, mate.
Yeah, we pulled it. It's running, driving. We went up to the gate, but the gate didn't open.
Dylan Ward, 1 to 10, rate the meeting.
10.
Why?
It's just epic, isn't it?
Did you have a good day?
Yeah.
Did you work it?
Yeah.
Did you hang it out?
Yeah, hanging
Did you have your water
cream
pump
like
hanging
that.
out the front of your bonnet?
Yeah, and she still spins with the belt.
Kieran Tweed, 323, rate your meeting 1 to 10.
9,
Why?
because he spun out in front of me.
No, you can't use that. He can't use that.
You can
I
bleep
can,
it,
I
he
can
said.
bleep it.
At the end of the day, Kieran thought he'd lean on me, as he put it, gently.
Yeah, whatever, mate. It's not your interview.
Did you lend me a car with no one in it?
Yes, I did.
There you go then.
Hero.
Did you laugh
Hero.
when I told you about it?
Yes, I did.
There you go.
Kieran,
then.
will you race an Avray 60?
Yes.
Nice. Clark Wells, Christian's Car Supplies, Big Daddy, rate your meeting 1 to 10.
2 today.
And why is that, mate?
Going alright in one race, then got took out, damage, couldn't fix it, long day. But, had a good one, we're all here, so still cracking away.
Get on the gas.
Yeah, Gary.
Naughty, part of my pit crew, didn't race today, but did do a parade lap with Dylan. Has been keeping the barbecue going all day. Rate your day 1 to 10.
Yeah, I'd say it's been up there at 9. It's been really good.
9. Why not 10, mate?
A little bit of bad luck with the cars. The Triumphs have been a little bit unfortunate. We have tried all day. Yeah, let's put it politely. But no, all in all, good day today, and hopefully a better day tomorrow.
Right, we've got half of the poll, brothers. Can you rate the meeting today, please, 1 to 10?
Well, I didn't really see much. I was too busy fixing Chaz's Triumph.
So should we go 5? What have you learned about Triumphs?
No. Yeah, they're not the best of cars, really. I'd prefer a Jag.
Yeah,
or,
I've got to agree, to be honest.
For one of these old school meetings, you know. Yeah, they're not too bad, really. Easy man, easy man.
Thank you very much. Squirrel, on the tools all day, rate the meeting 1 to 10.
6.
Why 6?
Social was good, racing not so great.
We didn't see much though, did we?
No, I didn't really see much racing.
What do you think about Triumphs?
Triumphs. They are. There's no other word for them. They are just. Not as Moggies are alright. Moggy seems to be the weapon of the day.
Morris Travellers.
Go on,
Rick. It's alright.
Kevin the Morris Whitby.
Right, let's just go MG.
He was going alright till the blocks fell off his pedals and he couldn't reach.
Up here and then out here.
Oh yeah, the front of the Caprice is doing all right. Oh no, I'm a one-man power now. What are you doing in there, mate?
Lots of ponies in here.
What are you doing in there, mate?
I'm just going to change the plugs.
Change your plugs about taking the bonnet off, yeah?
Yeah.
Send the small man in. getting out of the pile-up around the other side of the track. I've come down the straight the wrong way, come around the corner, and the steering rack and the steering column is falling apart, and I've got absolutely no steering. I cannot control this big old vessel, so once again I'm out of the race. Right, there you go. That is the footage that we managed to capture from Mildenhall Reunion 3, the weekend that we like doing every year. Mixed bag for me, really. The Saturday, the Triumph, I know I was very marginally, definitely very, very drunk, and gave it a 1 out of 10, and I will change that, actually. I'm going to give it a 5, because I did have 2 very bad races. We've obviously had the gremlins with it not running very well. Turns out, after changing everything and having about 15 different heads in it for about 2 hours on the Saturday, all the old fellas came together and baffled a lot of them, because we went from electronic distributor to points distributor, back again, made no difference. Double checked air and fuel and everything else, which was absolutely fine, made no difference. Front plate off, number 1 plug out, top dead center, started everything again. Went round in circles, God knows how many times. The one thing I didn't do was put a set of plugs in it, because I went, doesn't need plugs. I put plugs in it yesterday. It's had like 4 sets of spark plugs now. But we put a set of supersonic triple spark wicked things off of Clark Wells, put them straight in it, fired straight up. Went out for a race, done a drive shaft straight away. And then the last race, but did actually enjoy sending it around the track and dialing it in with that. And then went to do the DD, and like you've seen, they called that when Matey caught fire with like 4 cars left to go, which was a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. Time curfews and everything is there. The boot's been beaten off of it, but the front's still good. The wheels are still where they should be, so I'm not gonna throw it away. That's gonna go on the shelf. I think there's like a pre-80 under 2 litre meeting at Eastbourne in November later on in the year, so that's gonna go upstairs out of the way and be forgotten about for a little while. And then on the Sunday, with the Caprice, as you've seen, the heat, I really did enjoy the heat, I really did. Had some of the other lads in the Volvo start picking on me, so I started fighting back a little bit. And then the main thing for me was having a battle with Nemesis, with Steve Carter. Anyone asks me in the last 5 or 6 years, he's always been up there in the top 10, probably top 5 of my favourite drivers of all time. I've watched his battles for years when he was racing all the time, so for me to have that little ding dong with him, I really did enjoy that. It's probably the highlight of the weekend for me. Then, as you saw, we did collect a lot of damage from that. It didn't look massively bad if you were looking in from the crowd, but what it actually done is push the axle forward about 5 inches and broke some U-bolts on that. The front, when we pulled it out, all the subframe started coming off where the Sprinter axle was in that, so we had to repair that, and then obviously all the body damage and everything else. So there was quite a lot to fix. Got that back on the floor, then discovered we had no brakes, and then we had a little bit of a misfire, or what I thought was a misfire. So we sent Chaz in the engine bay, managed to change 2 out of the 4 plugs, I think, before we got called for the gate. Went out there, broke the steering in that final, which was a shame. And then in the last race, what actually happened is it started like cutting out going into the corner, got spun out, looked down, and the barrel fuel pump that we used was rattling about in the floor pan, which earths through the pump itself and was just sparking about on the floor, and it was sort of running and it wouldn't run. And as I've gone to grab it, it pulled the end of the plastic fuel filter out, so it was pumping petrol everywhere and sparking at the same time. So we kinked that over, the marshal came over, we taped that up, and I just sat in the car with my thumb on it to make sure no petrol came out, but obviously it was running and driving at that point. So again, that's gonna go somewhere. Don't really know where yet, but that can just sit on the back burner out the way. Now, one thing I do have to say, as you've seen from the footage, is I did have quite an army of lads in the pits, which I wouldn't have been able to get out for the races that I did get out for without. Primarily Squirrel, who I think actually managed to watch about 2 races all weekend, because if he wasn't fixing my car, I'd go out and race, and then Dylan or Kev or Kieran or someone else would need a car repaired, so they'd bring it over to the lorry while I was on the track. He was then in the pits fixing their cars. So without people like Squirrel, who then sacrificed watching the racing to fix the cars, it wouldn't be possible. Special mention obviously to Clark, who gave me the Caprice in the first place. He took his generator and his welder because he raced on the Saturday, and we wouldn't have got that back together if we didn't have the welder to fix that. Even some of the lads that then obviously raced on the Saturday were there helping fix the car on a Sunday. So yeah, everyone that was pictured in that video, I won't go listing names because I'll have too many to list, but whoever chipped in and helped with it, massive appreciation, thank you very much. Now, big news moving forwards with Allstar Garage is that this stuff here, and where we normally film in the corner with the ramp and everything else, we've outgrown it massively. That's why there's always a mountain of crap on the table. That's why we can never find tools. That's why everything, we're squeezed in the corner. And then as we're racing so much and doing so much, it's outgrown its purpose. Now, I obviously work from this workshop during the week as well with Allstar Hydraulics, and I haven't filmed a lot of that because it's messy in here and I don't want to film that side of things. And we've also outgrown the Allstar Garage stuff, so we're going like this. And all of this is getting cleared out, and all of Allstar Hydraulics is going to come underneath this mezzanine floor. And all of Allstar Garage is going to go over the other side of the workshop where there's much more space for filming and ramps and tools and benches and everything else. So there's a big jiggle up going on. So in the next week, 2 weeks probably, we're having a big sort out. I've got the Mark 10 to strip. I've got some other bits to move about. I've sold a Jag up there, which is going to make space. The Triumph's going to go there. Big jiggle. All the hydraulic stuff is going in. All the garage stuff is going over there. Because, you know, we like big challenges and stuff when we're on the clock, and we're still racing every week, and family and home and business, and yeah, lots to do. Anyway, I'm going to go and finish putting this together so that you can watch it and we can get on and do something else. See you later.